CVC and stuff. Okay. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Oh! Oh, it hasn't hit yet. Probably should wait until the reset. What's up, my guy? Let's switch the music over. Don't scratch that chair. I'm looking at you. Doo, doo, doo. 2 minutes. All right. Where's my chat talk? There we go. What was that code from the other day? Oh my God. I think I screenshot it with my phone. Trivia Dungeon. Thank you. That was what it was. All right, let's close out my. I need to make a video of all the codes that are working. Hello, how are you all doing? Trivia Dungeon. See, I've got another list here. I'd like to eat now, and if you could feed the cats, I got to shoot a couple raid videos before I go. I'm kind of rushing. I'm kind of behind. I thought that video got published yesterday. I guess I didn't understand that you wanted me to publish it, and I just published it right now. But oh well. No biggie. No. Yeah, go hang out with Ambassador Al if you want the drops. Ambassador Al, right there. Unfortunately, you will not be getting drops. I'm so sorry, but I got to do this. Okay. Oh, the rewards suck in trivia dungeon. Yeah. Reed Morton Ruark. Okay. Something hard? Yeah. I did not see the GTA 6 trailer. Let's do this though. Before I do that, let's see that I actually, yep. Okay. Demon Lord key, where am I at? Let's do it here. All right, this is not my preferred affinity, so I'm not going to do very well. That's fine. Nightmare. Going back to it? No. No, no, no. I'm not going back to Moral Future Fight. Nope. I do not play Galaxy of Heroes anymore. Been almost 5 years. How are you going? Welcome in. All right. I do want to shoot a video right now. Ugh. 11 hours, 9 hours. Okay. Got to use all that stuff. Passes, yeah. Flame, okay. Clan quests. Oh, hold on. That's really good. Spirit. Oh, we just had Spirit. Oh yeah, yeah. That's been a while. How's it going, Kobe One? Yeah, I still talk to Arnold like almost every day. Like I talked to him yesterday. Not, but I texted him this morning. So yeah. But no, I do not play the game anymore. What's that? Yeah, Raid Shadow Legends is way more complicated than Marvel Strike Force. All right. We are ahead. That is good. All right. I guess I can do some of this. Also, but I don't think Marvel Strike Force is nearly as grindy as Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends is just notoriously grindy. It's also kind of like a game that you could like have at your desk and just put the activities on and then walk away from it. A little bit more of an idle type game. What do I want to do? All right, let's make this video. I don't like Live Arena. All right, well, I was gonna do this. Okay, Live Arena is just for some reason not fun. It's just not. Green Warden. Hmm. Oh, that sounds great. 10% max health. Shield buff now like 2 turns ago. 10% that makes the level go down. Okay. That's a passive. You can only have them once per turn, right? Actually, this guy's kind of interesting. How old are you now? I'm pretty old. Old man. I just got married. We're having a baby. Got married like 2-3 years ago, and we're having a baby. So good stuff in my life. Yeah. Deathminder, yeah. I think we are probably nearly identical. Yeah. Streaming at 80? I know, man. You gotta find gotta make enough money to retire now. Working on it. Oh boy. Why is that so laggy? Holy moly. All right, we're going to be talking about all the codes that are current in the month of March 2000. March, April, May. Fuck. Okay. We're going to talk about all the codes that are good for not only for new players, but for Fuck me. Oh, they got a record button there? Oh, I can do it right there. I don't even have to click over there. That's great. I wonder if it's done yet. March, April, May. We're going to go over all of the codes that are working currently for the month of May 2025. We're also going to go over some of the new player codes and then also the codes that work for existing players. Now, if you have not done so already, there's a link in the description, or you can scan the QR code and you will get your journey for Raid Shadow Legends started right with Corrado, Fox Hunter, which is a legendary, Ugo when you hit level 15, which is an epic support champion. And then also once you hit level 30, you get Tagore. He's an amazing epic support champion as well. Now we're going to go over some new player codes and some player codes that are working for everyone. And I got to say, this is super important. You can only use one code per 24-hour. I forgot something. I wanted to say one other thing. Shit. All right, we'll start over one more time. We're going to talk about all the codes that are working for the month of May 2025. I just got a list from Plarium Raid, so we're going to go over that. Also, if you've not done so already, there's a link in the description, or scan the QR code and you can get your journey started on Raid Shadow Legends today with a legendary. Look at that beautiful man right there. Legendary for a Corona Fox Hunter. And when you hit level 15, you'll get Ugo. Who's an amazing epic support champion. And then when you hit level 30, you'll get Tagore. And then you'll have another epic support champion. So right out of the gate, you will start the game with 1 legendary, 2 epics, and I'm going to show you a way to get one of 4 legendaries that are very important. Now, if you want to start the game over, it's important to use a new device and also a new email, or else you won't get those promo items. Now, I'm going to do something right now in the game, and if you're a new player, I want to suggest this. Do not do what I'm going to do right now. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to enter in a code that works for all players. But here's the problem. The code is not that great if you are comparing it to the new player codes that you have to use in the first 24 hours. So again, if you're a new player in the first 24 hours of playing Raid Shadow Legends, do not use this code. Do not use this code. That is a code that is working for all players. And it does give some things, but I'm going to be honest, like, this is okay. All right. Okay. And here's the thing is I can go and use another code only 24 hours. And the problem is that there's these new player codes that only work in the first 24 hours. But if you use one of the codes like the one that I just did there on the screen, you're going to be locked out for 24 hours, and then you won't be able to use the awesome code. Also worth noting, and this is kind of important, if you are on iOS, you can't do that, what I just did right there. What I did right there only works on the PC client and Android, but if you're on iOS, you're going to have to go directly to the Plarium website right here to enter those codes. So we're going to go over the other codes that work for all players, but for now we're going to start with the new player codes because there are a handful of them, and there's 4 of them. We've got Get Alice for Alice the Wanderer. We've got Monkey King for Sun Wukong. We've got Get Loki for Loki the Deceiver, and then we've got Tree Hugger for Green Warden Ruark. And we're going to talk about why you should use one of those 4 codes within the first 24 hours of playing Raid Shadow Legends. But if you are an existing player, there are some other codes that you can use. Now, like I have not used this Game Leap? Is that a word? Game Leap code yet. And I'll have to wait until the 24 hours. But once the 24 hours has passed, and this works until the end of August, I can get the following, and then PP500, that works until December of 26, and this is for all users. I'll get that. This code here only works on the PC client. So I would do these every 24 hours, but again, if you're a brand new player, do not use these codes that I just mentioned so far in the video. You're going to want to use one of these first 4, and I'm going to go over which one you should probably use. There are 2 other sources. I would definitely go check out Hell's Hades and then Yumilove, and they have other promo codes. I've used most of these already, but you kind of have to like do them systematically, one at a time. And then once you've used it, it doesn't work anymore, and you can only use one every 24 hours. Now, for the new players, let's go over the codes. And I have extensive knowledge on 3 of the 4 characters: Get Alice, Monkey King, and Get Loki. Now I'm going to go into the game and explain why you should use the one that I think you should use, but based on my experience with playing 3 of those 4 characters. So the first code that you could use is Get Alice for Alice the Wanderer. Alice the Wanderer is a very strong nuker character. She does a lot of damage, and she also can be very useful not only in arena but for clearing waves. She's very strong. Now, I just want to point this out that I did play in an event where I got her the 5 reds, and also on Loki I have 5 reds, and then the other one, Sun Wukong, is 2 reds. And I'm just going to get to the long and the short of it. Even though I have Sun Wukong at 2 reds, and I have Alice at 5 reds, and Loki at 5 reds, Sun Wukong is still a better champion. When you use these codes, you're going to have 0 reds. So even though there's some power difference, I still think Sun Wukong is the best choice. We'll get to why here in a minute, but let's go over the advantages of each one. Alice the Wanderer, which is the code Get Alice. Let's go and take a look at it. She has some pretty cool tricks up her sleeve, and her kit is very strong. Let's see. Let's switch over to the other side of the screen so I can click on it. Her passive right here, one of this champion attacks inflicts more damage to each target for each turn remaining on all of their skills cooldowns. The bonus damage is counted individually for each target. I actually use that with Fabian in the arena, and that is very strong. Resets the cooldown of one of the skill champion skills each time they kill an enemy, occurs once per skill. That makes her very, very useful in waves and what they call campaign farming. And then this is her A2 special, which I almost always use initially in arena. Attacks all enemies, and then this gets boosted up to 100% of increasing the cooldowns of all enemy skills by 2 turns, which is amazing because Stone Skin's a real problem right now inside of arena. Also has a 75% chance of decreasing each target's turn meter by 15% if at least one of the target skills has on cooldown increased to the max, decrease the turn meter by 30% instead. So this is a very good arena champion. And then this here is devastating, attacks an enemy and ignores 20% of the target's defense, which is such a good thing in this game. If the initial target is killed, also attacks the enemy with the lowest HP, so it'll double kill sometimes. Also ignore 20% of the target's defense. So her primary function is to delete people. Attack one enemy 2 times, place an extra hit if the target has any active skills on cooldown. Each hex has a chance, which goes up to 100 when you book, of decreasing the duration random buff on the target by 1 turn. I'm going to go into battle just to show what she does in arena, because I use her all the time in arena. And we're just going to go into the first match right here. I'm going to be running... I'm also going to be running one of the other champions that we're going to talk about, Sun Wukong and Alice, and this may sway you one way or another. Let's go into battle and see how this goes. But Alice does a lot of damage, and we're going to see how this match goes. We might have to do a couple of these to get an idea of where she's useful. All right, Sun Wukong went, and then Alice deleted 2 people, right? It's over. It's done. Sun Wukong deleted 2, and then she deleted 2. And that is a typical experience that I have with her. It really is. And she's just very, very strong. I want to do it again? You want to see it one more time? I don't even know who to go up against. Let's just go up. I don't know. We'll just pick this first one right here. And I don't know if Sun Wukong's going to delete the team or she's going to delete the team, right? Wow, Sun Wukong deleted the team. Again, making my case for Sun Wukong. Oh, let's just do another one. I don't know. We're just trying another one. I don't know. It's just the way it works. Okay, he goes. And then she goes. Okay, then. It's over. Right? All right. So they're both very strong, but I'm still a bigger fan of Sun Wukong. And let's talk about Sun Wukong's kit. So that is the Get Alice. The next one is Monkey King, and this is the one that I suggest for Sun Wukong. Sun Wukong, they just published and I don't have it in front of me, they just published their stats for 2024. In Live Arena, you can ban a champions. The top 2 banned champions in all of Raid Shadow Legends is Arbiter, which you get for free by finishing the Arbiter missions, and the number 2 banned one is Sun Wukong. That should tell you a lot. I mean, I think a lot of people have those characters that might skew the stats. I'm just saying it might skew it because they're characters that the community has a lot of access to. But these are the ones that get banned, and this is my experience in Live Arena as well. My Arbiter gets banned and my Sun Wukong gets banned. Anyways, Sun Wukong is bonkers mostly because of his passive. Now, it's also worth noting his aura gives the ally speed 28% in arena and in turn-based speed. But listen to this. Revives this champion with 100 HP and 100% turn meter 3 turns after they're killed. Yeah, he just auto-revives himself. Auto-revives himself. Like if you have a teammate that's alive, he's coming back. Do you know how bonkers that is? He always is coming back. He's going to be the last one to die, or you're going to have to wipe the whole team as once. Now, he is the epitome of a glass cannon. Does a lot of damage. Block buffs, debuff on them for 2 turns. This is incredibly useful in Hydra and for clearing waves. This is a ridiculous ability. Attack one enemy will ignore 50% of the target defense, which is bonkers. I can't explain how important that is. And then the remaining damage hits the other people. This wipes out teams also. You target the weakest one on the team, you kill that one, and then poof, the rest of the team explodes. It gets better. The basic attack. I play a lot of these turn-based games. The basic attack has a chance of a stun. What? It's 25%. Then when you book it out right there, it goes up even higher. You know, another 25%, 50% chance stun on the basic attack has a stun. You can mod him. This is also bonkers with his masteries so that he has counterattack, has a 50% chance to counterattack when this champion loses 25% of their max HP or more from a single enemy skill. Guess what? He's going to hit them back and they have 50% chance of stunning him. This guy's bonkers. This guy's bonkers. For me, this is my favorite champion. And even though he has less red stars, I like him more than my Alice. Now, Loki is interesting. And the problem with Loki is that his kit is complicated and it does not work well on auto. When you manually play Loki, he's very good. But there's large parts of the game that plays on automatic. It plays on sims, right? And the AI just doesn't play him right. It's just that simple. And we'll read the kit. And strangely enough, he actually is very hard to kill because he's shifty. And we'll go into that. He actually pairs really well with Sun Wukong because this guy's hard to kill. He doesn't do any damage, but he's able to manipulate a lot of things in the fight. I just find that his kit does not work well on auto and requires programming and specific targeting. His passive, right? Places a perfect veil buff on this champion for 2 turns at the start of each round. So there's some other characters that do perfect veil, like Rector Draft and such, so that there's synergy with that. Also places perfect veil on this champion for 1 turn whenever the HP drop below is 50%. Perfect veil is like stealth, like he's not targetable. Has 15% chance to evade enemy skill, and all of its accompanying effects. If this champion is under veil or perfect veil, the chance to evade increases to 30%. So he is there. You're not killing this guy easily. He's going to dodge all the time. Active effect. If this champion's HP is below 50%, when targeted by an enemy skill, has a 100% chance to evade if that skill and all of its accompanying effects, this guarantees evade and then goes on cooldown. And that's on a 4-turn cooldown. This guy just dodges everything. He's not dying. So this is where it gets tricky, right? All right, so 75% chance of stealing all buffs from a target enemy and 100% of their turn meter. These effects cannot be resisted if champions under perfect veil or perfect veil buff. So you kind of want him to be under perfect veil first, right? And then do this. If all the target's turn meter was not stolen, fills the turn meters of all allies by 15% instead. Also plays increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns. Okay, so the order of when this happens kind of matters because you want him to have the veil or perfect veil buff. Well, how do you get that? Well, this is where the part of the kit drives me insane because it works amazingly when you play it, but not so good when the AI plays it. Because this middle ability, you can target allies or you can target enemies. And sometimes you want to target yourself and sometimes you want to target the allies. And, this is why this is the part that drives me crazy about his kit. Select a target, ally or enemy. If the target is an enemy, has a 75% chance of placing a block active skill debuff and a block buff debuff for 2 turns. Okay, so if the champion using this skill is under Veil or Perfect Veil buff, then it also applies a debuff spread effect, taking 2 random debuffs from the target and placing them in all enemies. So he does start off with Perfect Veil, so this does work very well, but sometimes he doesn't have Perfect Veil and then this doesn't work. He does have Perfect Veil at the start of battle, and what this does is this puts ability block on the whole team unless you target the wrong person and it doesn't stick to that person, then it doesn't spread to the team. So the AI doesn't do that right, and you kind of have to know who to target. Then there's a lot of times where you want to target an ally and heal them up and spread positive effects. If the target ally or this champion heal them by 50% of this champion's max HP and place a Perfect Veil buff on them for 2 turns, if this champion is under Veil, a Perfect Veil buff also applies buff spread effect, taking random buff from the target and placing it on allies. So I'm just saying the AI doesn't do this correctly. Like, yeah, he starts with Perfect Veil. This might work correctly. You never know if he's going to target them or someone on your team. The way that the skills work differently, whether or not he has Perfect Veil or not, he won't like automatically put Perfect Veil back on himself so that the abilities work better. It drives me insane. Then he's a very complicated kid. Attack all enemies, has a 30% chance increasing the duration of all enemy buffs by 1 turn. If his champion is under a Veil, Perfect Veil buff, the chance increases 50%. Damage based on attack. So I like this guy a lot when I play him manually, but he just doesn't work well on AI, has been my experience. So I don't know if I'd recommend this champion. All right, we'll talk about the last one, which is Tree Hugger, which is a champion that I do not have. And we're going to go to Hell Hades. I'm going to switch sides of the screen here, which is the Tree Hugger guy, Greed Warden, Ruark. Now, I actually wish I had this champion, but I don't know that this champion would be more useful than Sun Wukong. I looked at his kit, and I actually immediately wanted this guy because I'm really struggling with Sylvan Watchers inside of Faction Wars. He's really good in the one game mode that I'm struggling the most, which is the Shogun Grove, Scarab King. And this is a support PvE champion. And there's a ton of stuff in his kit that looks super helpful. Like, I want this guy. I don't know if he's better than Sun Wukong, though. Knight of Vines, whenever an ally loses 10% or more of their max HP from a single hit, places shield buff on that ally for 2 turns, equal to 10% of their max HP. Very useful. Then he can taunt, place a taunt buff, increased buff, and a 25% drinking buff on this champion for 2 turns. So he's going to take a lot of damage. He's very tanky. Attacks all enemies, has an 80% chance of placing decreased attack buff for 2. Transfers all debuffs from him to the target and then heals the champion by 5% of their max HP for each debuff transferred. So he has a way of like protecting the team, and then he has like a taunting mechanic. For me, I would still choose Monkey King for Sun Wukong. So you do have a choice of Get Alice, Monkey King, Get Loki, and Tree Hugger. All right. So if you haven't done so already, click the link in the description or scan the QR code here on the screen, and you'll start off with Karada the Fox Hunter, who's a legendary, right? Then you're going to get Ugo, Epic Support Champion, when you hit level 15. And then you're going to get another Epic Support Champion when you hit level 30. And then within the first 24 hours of playing Raid Shadow Legends, use the promo code, whichever the 4 you want. But my suggestion is to use Monkey King. If you're on iOS, you're going to have to go to the Plarium website and do that there. And then after you have done that and the 24 hours has expired, you can go ahead and use the code that I used at the beginning of the video, or any of these other codes down here at the bottom, or if any of the other codes on the Hell Hades site, or any of the other codes that are on the yumilove.net. Bye for now. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Loki he doesn't work well with the AI, so he doesn't play well on defense. Yeah. All right. What do we want to do? Have a migraine? Dinner's ready? All right. I'm going to send this video off to the editor. Really? Why is that? Is there a way of doing it? I don't know. All I've heard is that there's problems. Tell me. Copy ID in your settings. Use the left tab. Go to then promo code. Oh, isn't it just easier to go to the website though? All right, I'm gonna call it. I gotta eat, and then I gotta go pick up my prescriptions. You guys are the best. If you're on Twitch, I'm gonna kick you over to what is it, Ambassador Al? Yeah, let's go over to Ambassador Al. It was in available to the end of May right here. I didn't say it, but it was on the screen. All right.